All right, Victoria, I hope I can start, right?
Yes, you can.
All right, please, can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Um, I will start with this story. Um, Once upon a time, in a small, bustling village, nestled in the mountains, lived a blacksmith named Elera, right? It's actually a fiction name, right? Elera was renowned for her craftsmanship. Um, she took pride in her work, creating tools and weapons that were the backbone of her community. But Elera also had a dream. She wanted to see what lay beyond the mountains, to witness the wonders that others whisper about, right? So one carrying a strange glowing device. He called it an ether stone, and it could communicate with other stones miles away, lighting up with messages from distant places. The villagers were fascinated but skeptical. How could a glowing rock change our way of life, our way of thinking? But Elera, however, saw the potentials. She approached the travelers and asked if she could learn to use the ether stone. So the travelers, seeing her curiosity, agreed and taught her how to send and receive message with that device, with that ether stone. Soon, Elera was exchanging ideas with blacksmiths from far off land, learning new techniques, and even ordering rare materials that she had never dreamed of working with before. Her work transformed. She started creating intricate design, combining traditional method with the new technique she had learned. Her shop became famous not just in her village, but across the region. Other blacksmiths came to learn from her, and the village prospered. So years passed, the ether stone became a common tool. The village evolved, adopting to new ways of communications and commerce. They built roads to connect with other villages, establish trade routes and create a network of knowledge and collaboration. The once isolated village became a hub of innovation and prosperity. Elera, now elderly, looks back on her life with a sense of fulfillment. She had embraced the future and transformed her work, leaving a legacy for generations to come. She realized that the essence of her success lay not just in her skill, but in her willingness to adapt, to learn, and to look beyond the horizon. Today, as we stand on the brink of the future of work and the work of the future, we find ourselves in a similar position as this Elera we just talked about her story. The tools and technologies at our disposal are changing rapidly, opening doors we never knew existed, right? Just as Celera embraced the Ether Stone, we must embrace these changes, learn new skills, and adapt to new ways of working. The future is not just something that happens to us, it is something we create, one innovation at a time. And now, let's explore what this future holds for us and how we can actually shape the works of the future. Good morning, everyone. My name is Samuel Ekele, and I'm infrastructure DevOps engineer here in the CovDev team. Today, I want to briefly talk about the future of works and the works of the future. Basically, not going to talk about a whole lot of technology that is disrupting across industries, but just pick just a few that actually interested me. I think looked interesting a little. There are so many of them. There are so many of them. A lot of things have changed in recent time. So many things they told us will happen in 2020 happen in year 2050 happens in 2022. So nobody can actually predict exactly what is going to happen in the next decade. we are going to see unimaginable things happening. We're going to see things changing so fast. Why we are not seeing so much presently is a gradual thing. It's going to phase out. This present times, what we're seeing today, technology we are using today, what we use here today, will gradually phase out, and suddenly we'll find ourselves in a new, an unprecedented terrain, right? So let's see our story. All this journey started from stone, it gets to bronze tools and iron tools, and then waterways and steam engine, electric engineering, and automobiles, aircraft, and then the era of information and communication technology. So if you looked at how technology grows, evolves, you see that every technology is built upon a previous technology, right? Before the steam engine, we have the water wheel. Before the water wheel, we have the iron tools. So they are just building on top of each other. No technology just come out of a blue and then start causing problem or the likes. Like the popular Uber, we know. Before Uber came, we have metro taxi. Yes, metro taxi was popular. As at that time, metro taxi was sending code, code, which is only known to the driver and the passenger. So when the passenger confirm to the driver the code and it matches, you enter. Uber came and disrupt that. Uber came and built on that. That is basically what Uber is, but Uber has an application. So it built on that. And somebody came on top of Uber too to build a driverless car, right? Where you don't even need a driver. So after that part, we are going to see another person building on top of that. That's how continue. That's how the evolutions continue, right? Then, if you look at the in 1980, this is what computer looks like in 1981, right? And then in 1994, this is how the internet looks like, right? In 2007, we have a new era of digital telephony, right? We have mobile phone and smartphone, basically, right? So if you want to actually predict the future, if you want to predict the future, is to look back. If you want to predict, the best way to predict the future is to look back. If between the space of 12 years, mobile telephony moved from here in 2023, from this, I know some of us are familiar with this level of mobile phone, right? So mobile telephony moved from this stage and got here in a space of 12 years. It means that from the next 10 years, where are we going to get to with what AI, robotic engineering, virtual reality, and a couple of other emerging technology is currently doing? What if AI matured? AI is still in its infancy, right? What happened when it matured, right? So let's say between 10 years from now, we'll see things that something unimaginable, really. It's something that we cannot imagine, because at this stage, we are the one building the AI. We are the one training the machine. And I believe that machine will someday start training itself, right? So what happens when machine start training itself, and then machines that was trained by machines start training other machines and the like? You can imagine where we are heading to. So we can't predict exactly what's going to happen, because all the predictions about what will happen in 2035, 2040, 2050, and the likes, all of that happens in 2022. So you cannot accurately predict what is going to happen in the future. So, well, we are going to point at few technologies that is like changing the whole stories, changing the whole things, and how we need to like adopt to it. It's not going to be a surprise to us if we are informed that these things are coming. Unfortunately, I'm not even going to talk about Gen AI because Gen AI is more like it's more like the boss. Everybody should like know more about it. Maybe in subsequent presentation, I would like to like bring more of this Gen AI specifically for maybe part of what we do as our day-to-day to our day-to-day jobs, or the ones that we can leverage in and the likes, right? Because there's nothing we can do about it. They've come. And it's not like they've come to like take our jobs. They will not take our jobs. They are not a threat to us. In fact, they will create more jobs than before, right? Before internet, we used to think when computer comes in, right? Some people lost their job and a whole lot of more got more jobs, right? So before then, we don't have anything like before computer, we don't have anything like software engineer, we don't have anything like digital marketing, we don't have anything like designer or the likes, right? But now it creates more of this job. So people lost their job and more people got more jobs. So AI will come, will relieve some people of their duty, of their jobs, but will create more jobs. You get, so that's what AI is going to, that's what AI is going to do. We are entering the next wave of technology, and one interesting technology is augmented reality, augmented or virtual reality. And Facebook, I know um, you are familiar with this creature here. He owns Meta, and Meta is dominating that sphere, right? Augmented reality. You augmented reality basically is bridging reality, the gap between reality and the digital realm and physical realm, right? Offering new ways to interact with and perceive our environment. There are so many things that is going to happen always augmented reality. I don't know if we've heard of cyber surgery, we've heard of robotic-assisted surgery and the likes, right? This is what technologies that they are going to leverage on, right? You're going to like have a virtual classroom. Maybe it's going to disrupt education as well, right? Because basically you don't have any reason why you should go to or join that environment from anywhere or create that virtual environment. That environment cannot so exist virtually, and you can attend virtually, get the same thing virtually. And you know, virtual reality is a combination of 3D, right? It even creates a more robust environment that you can even learn better because you learn by experiencing what you're experiencing it firsthand. So you learn by experiencing it firsthand. It's not like somebody is telling you in a story, right? Then what school will do is just to create that virtual class, and then you put on your augmented reality or virtual reality device, right? All of you put on augmented reality device, and then you find yourself in a class, you find yourself in an environment, right? Where all of you gather, and then you are getting your lectures, and the lectures is in 3D. You know, all these things they are explaining to you, you are seeing them in real life. You are seeing how to perform a surgery, how to do this and do that, and you can virtually do that yourself, right? They will simulate it, and then in that virtual environment, you practically do that surgery or do something. You know, it's more like you are doing it practically, and suddenly you just realize that you have two worlds. You have the physical world and the digital world. So, and then the augmented reality actually blend these two worlds together. The virtual one and the digital one and the physical one, right? That's what augmented reality does, right? And it's going to dominate the future. It's going to be the way we're going to do or maybe work, basically, because you can create a virtual representations of any environment you want, any scenarios and any activities at all. You can create a virtual representations of it, right? You can simulate, you've not flown a jet before, you can simulate flying a jet, you can fly a jet, and it's in reality, you are just doing it. And when they give you a physical, a real jet, you can fly it because the virtual one you've flown actually has the same characteristics with the physical one, basically. So more of learning is going to be in virtual environment. Meta is pioneering, and this is how it looks like, right? In this environment, all of us, we're going to fixing our augmented reality devices and then find ourselves in another new world. Basically, is going to dominate our future. Then, this is another interesting technology that I think is coming to disrupt a whole lot of things. Phonics is actually from Sanctuary AI. Sanctuary AI is designing a general purpose robot, and it has passed all tests, and they've even developing for they already have they are already in the phase of mass production. If you have money, you buy this general purpose robot. It can practically do anything that human being can do, right? It can cook for you, it can do anything. You just buy it and then take it to your home and command it to do whatever you want it to do for you. General purpose, and it's from Sanctuary AI. Sanctuary AI is actually a Canadian company, right, based in Vancouver, and its mission is to create a world first human-like intelligent in general purpose robot. So this one is not like is doing one thing and leaving the other. It's just like a replica of human being, but in this time it's going to be superhuman, right? It's going to be superhuman. He never get hungry. He never demand for money. He will never steal your money because he doesn't need your money, right? He will never steal your money, and he will never lie because he has nothing to lose, right? So we're going to see this dominating our future. People that have money will be able to acquire this device and then help them. And some of these domestic jobs and a couple of things is going to go to extinct. Human beings no longer do a whole lot of things. Machines will do it for us. Maybe farming, so many of them like that. So we already have a breakthrough there. Generals, this one they call Gen 7. This particular one they call Gen 7 because of its flexibility, right? It has an improved range of motions, virtual times, perceptions, and tactile sensing, increase the capability of the system to perform complex tasks and a couple of things like that. So it has been improved. Remember, I told you that it's still in its infancy stage, right? So these things are going to get better with time. In 5 years to come, in 10 years to come, if they achieve this now, imagine what it will look like in future. I'm afraid anyway, but that's what it is, right? I don't know what will happen when machines start building itself. I don't really know what will happen when we lost control. When we lost control. And another of my fear is we are going to have a few number of people. It means that people that control this algorithm are going to control the world, right? sanctuary AI is not only sanctuary AI that is actually doing something remarkable in this area. We also have interesting engineering in UK that is also doing a couple of things. They design America is running on ChatGPT 4, can respond to any questions and all that. So it can turn to a general purpose robot as well, and then you see that on and on in the place. The thing is, these two companies are not the only one. We also have um what's his name? Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, Optimus robots. To replace human completely. Elon Musk said that in future, human beings will not have a job. I know it's not going to be possible because if you design a robot, of course, this component you are seeing in his body and all that, it made up of a whole lot of sensory nerve. They designed sensory nerve for it. Yes, maybe he has sensory nerves and the likes, right? Couple of other things. When you send a robot to here, you must have engineers that will fix it. So what I see in this is that in future we're going to train. You know how you train your dog. Basically, when you buy your general purpose robot, you have to train it. You have to train it to actually adapt to whatever you want to use it for. Like, so I believe that in future we're going to have robot trainer, people that are going to train computer like a dog, because you actually need to feed in information or feed in commands for it to carry that, right? So we're going to have people who are going to train this robot. That's another job. People are going to feed this component. There are so many components in this body I'm seeing, right? There are so many things. And as I've also mentioned, is it infancy stage, so nobody know a whole lot about it. So in future, there are going to be problem. Every solution comes with a problem, and every problem must have a solution. So that's basically it. So it's a solution, but it carries a problem. So that's like that with general purpose robot, Optimus robot, and Tesla is calling it Elon Musk is calling it a Tesla bot now. It's a general purpose robotic home under development, right? We've seen the face, the display a version of it, right? Recently, where it was folding clothes and it was doing it accurately. So it has getting to that flexibility, and they will take it a bit more. You know, these guys are working every now and then, every day, to improve this technology. And I can't imagine how far they will go in the next 5 to 10 years with these things we're seeing, right? So, autonomous car, autonomous car has become another thing entirely, right? We used to drive our car. Time will come when we will be hearing stories that we used to drive our car. We bought a car, it has steering. Yes, it will become like a story that, yeah, we used to drive car. Car will no longer be driven by man, it's going to be driven by itself, basically, right? So all this technology are still at its birth and is going to mature. So when it matures, you see that all these cars that were driven by ourselves is going to face, or it's going to go, it's going to die. This is not a life of our children. This is our own era, our own time that this thing is going to happen, right? It may be sounding like a movie, but it's really not. It's reality, right? Because there is no limit to how you can think, and there is no limit to how intelligent you can be. There is no limit to the level of knowledge that you can acquire. So that's basically, there's no limit to the research they can do on this thing. So there are so many, and we are in a world where it's not only one person that is getting it, that is racing into this thing. There are so many of them, so there's competition as well. So it becomes very faster as well. So the autonomous car with its sensors and all that, to detect, its environment and to sense its environment and the likes and all that. So basically, we may not see that happen immediately. We may not see that happen immediately, but with time, it's going to It's going to face off. So there are new discovery, there are new research coming in every now and then. Recently, I've heard of a discovery using um, a nuclear reactor to create a battery, right? Um, we've also heard of popularity of EV, electric vehicle, right? Elon Musk first released it, Tesla face, right? And it faces some challenges with battery. And then China EV is also dominating the market. And the basic challenges is battery as well, right? Tesla will charge and then work very well for a few years, right? And then the battery get weak off over time. You charge it and then you recharge it before you run 100 kilometers, it runs down again as the battery ages, and then you have to recharge and all that. So a company in China actually came up with using a nuclear reactor to power to use in a battery, right? Though this at this stage it can only I think it has it's only 3 volts is a very minimal level, right? But it is technology. With time they will improve with it. And this battery in questions can last for 50 years without charging, right? So we may be expecting from now till the next decade, we should be expecting that there will be no need for us to charge our phone, because it's gonna get into our mobile devices. It's going to get into our devices, right? So that the face of charge phone is just going to go to extinction. It's going to die, right? If they progress with that space. So a whole lot of things is going to happen. And then the cyber surgery. The cyber surgery is basically the robotic assisted surgery. It happens in telemedicine, right? These things are not like science fiction. It's something that have been approved. It's something that they have used. Do you understand? That is here, right? Now, they have to improve in it. The era of you want to travel to India for a surgery, you want to travel to India for treatment and the likes, is like going to be over very soon, because a surgery in India can actually use 5G technology, with 5G technology and augmented reality and all that, can perform a surgery remotely, right? You can actually get all the medical treatment you want remotely, right? So this is another things that we're going to see disruptions in. There are so many technology coming in that space, in the space of telemedicine, doctors, all doctors and all of them. Technology is trying to replace them. You can. There are so many Gen AI now that you can even query treatment for. They give you details. Forgotten the names for. You just try to replace doctor basically, right? So for consultations, you can consult this AI, and it's giving you accurate information, because these informations are fed by knowledgeable experts, by researchers, by people who taught the people that used to give you the consultations and the like, right? So it is like, because it's a collective knowledge, it's a whole lot of people that feed that information into the system. The system will be able to use all their brain to give you feedback, to give you results, and it's going to be like a perfect result. So a lot of industries are going to see this thing, and it's going to be an interesting moment for us to be alive. And I'm happy to be alive to witness that. So another thing that we're going to be expecting again is maybe there is a race to immortality, right? There is a race to human being to stay longer, maybe 400 years or the like, because the first stage of cell reversal was successful, right? It means that you can reverse your aging cells and aging cell and all that, and you can stay younger for as long as you want, as long as possible, right? So in that area also, we're going to see a whole lot of things in a few years from now. We're going to see a whole lot of things happening and all that. But it's not just going to happen one day. It's not going to just happen at once. It's just going to be a gradual thing, a gradual thing. Before you know it, you begin to hear you no longer walk into a hospital for your surgery. You no longer do this. You no longer travel to America or UK for medical tours and all that. You can actually bring UK to your home. You can actually bring India to Nigeria to actually do this surgery remotely. So we're going to see this thing happening gradually and all that. So this is how it's done, right? He is doing this thing, feeling as if it's operating on you physically, as if it's augmented reality, right? So he's doing it as if he's feeling every aspect of your body and everything he's doing, and he will do it. And when he removes his face from this augmented reality screen, you discover that it's just in a physical world, that it doesn't touch you anyway, and you are somewhere in Nigeria and it's somewhere in UK, right? So that's how it's going to happen. Okay. What skill do you need to actually stay relevant in the future? There are so many things that computer cannot do. They don't have emotions, right? There are so many things that you can look out for, like social skill and all that. So the question is, if technology comes in those areas, then what will human do? What are we going to do? I don't know how to answer that question, but I don't want to believe that it's coming to destroy anything. So there are a whole lot of things to talk about, but I think time will not permit us. Maybe some other times we can continue this story, because I know if you are on the internet, you have a whole lot of things to talk about this thing, because it's out there. The information is out there, and we have access to this information. We all have access to this information. So, but it looks like we are running out of time. Probably next time we continue from where we stopped, or talked about so many other things again.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome.
Do you want to ask us questions?
Yes, I think I left you guys with a question, and that question is like, well, maybe not, you may not ask, but you should be asking yourself, you should answer it to yourself. And I know everybody will not have the same answers to that question, right? If machine comes in that place, in our place, as we just highlighted, as we just mentioned and all that. So what exactly would human do, right? What exactly will we do if machine is already doing all those things that I've mentioned? So there is no single or right answer to that question, because we don't know. We don't know. Even if we predict it, we may not be right, we may not be correct, right? So if you can find answers to that question, it means that you can position yourself for this thing. And it means that if you can find the answer, you will know how to position yourself when this thing comes. So that's my question. So if you have any question,